So if you're on a walk and you come across a field of cattle, what should you do? Now this applies whether you've got a dog or you haven't got a dog. It's all the same principles. So the first thing to do is, as you approach the field, just assess the situation, see what livestock are in the field, and see where you've got to go in relation to where they are. So I can see there's cows over in the corner of that field. They're actually a long way from where I want to walk, so that's absolutely fine, but we'll go closer to them as well. On the gate, the farmer has put a warning sign that says bull in field, so that's quite handy. There's not always these signs, but some fields will have them, and it just warns you that there are livestock. Okay, so I'm going to go through the gate and we'll enter the field. So as you enter the field, the main thing is just to not make any loud noises or sudden movements. Anything that's going to alert the cattle that you're there or stress the cattle. So I'm going to head closer to the cattle and see what they do. So I'm still quite a long way off, but I can see that the cattle have put their heads up and they've noticed I'm here. They've got quite good eyesight, so they can see I'm here from a way off. So really they're just very curious. These ones have come straight up to me as I've walked across. I haven't walked very far at all. I've walked about 40 foot and they've come up to me. So again, the main thing is that I don't make any sudden movements or loud noises. They still are quite flighty animals, so if I do anything to scare them, that's going to raise their stress levels and they're going to run away quite quickly, which can be a bit intimidating. So every cow's got a flight zone around them, and that's the point where they'll start moving because they get a bit scared of you. Now these ones I'm with are clearly quite friendly. They're not really too bothered that I'm here. However, if I walk closer to them, they will move away. So they're still scared of me, no matter how friendly they are. Now because they are so curious and friendly, they're very likely to follow you as you walk away, especially if you've got a dog. So don't be tempted to run away and be scared. Okay, so I'll keep walking and see what they do. So it looks like they're not going to follow me. They've come over and checked me out and I'm not a threat or anything, so they're going to stay where they are as I walk away. So these cattle are all quite friendly, but how do you tell if there's a dangerous animal? The number one sign is that their head is going to go up in the air and their tail might as well. That's a sign that they've spotted you and they're a bit stressed that you're about. Their flight zone is a lot bigger than a calmer animal. So what do you do if you've got a dog? Well, it's pretty much all the same principles. The cattle are going to be very interested in the dog. They rarely see them and they're another animal, so they're going to want to come up, sniff it and lick it and have a play. So we've got a dog in the field here now. They're not really looking at the person in the field at all. All they're interested is on the dog. So you can see that this dog hasn't been around livestock very much. He's a bit scared of the cattle. However, the cattle are also scared of him, and whenever he moves, they back off. So if a cow is actually attacking you or the dog, i.e. they've come up and hit you with their head, or they're trying to barge into you, at that point it's best to try and get out the field. If you've got a dog, it might be best to let the dog go, especially if the animal is really chasing you. So head towards the nearest gate or fence. It's very rare that a cow will attack you. They are far more scared of a human than a human is scared of them. So now the dog's walking away, you can see the cattle are following the dog. They're not very interested in me, the dog's much more interested to them. So if the cows are following you, they're probably going to follow you all the way until you leave the field. So if you leave the field the way you entered, nice and quiet, nice and calm, there's going to be no problems whatsoever. The cattle are going to go back to whatever they were doing last. So these are just a group of young cattle. They're really very unlikely to be dangerous at all. If you see cows and calves in a field, you've got to be much more careful. The main point there is to not come between the calf and the cow. Don't walk in between that gap, because the cow thinks you're a risk or you're trying to take her offspring. She's going to get a bit annoyed. Bulls are a bit more likely to be dangerous. You can spot a bull, it will be uncastrated, it'll be a lot bigger and more muscular as well, you won't miss it. So that's it for the video. Drop us a like if you've learned something, and I'll see you next time.